Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see about how to create a screen to add an employee details. Let's open the same project which we used in last session. Before that, we can see the agenda for this session. Agenda is first create a new action methods to create employees. If we create an action method, definitely we need to create views. So we are going to create views to create employees. Then navigation between two screens. So let's open the Visual Studio. This is the project which we explained and learned in our last session. But what we learned, how to create an employee controller and how to display the details in the index action method. So in this video, we are going to create two more action methods with same name, create employee, but both action methods have different HTTP verbs. One is without any HTTP verb, so it takes default HTTP verb as HTTP get. Another one is with HTTP post by mentioning it explicitly. Let's do that. Public action result, create employee, just return view. This method is without any HTTP verb. So by default, it assumes a HTTP verb as HTTP get. Now we are going to create another method with same name, but with HTTP verb. Copy. Okay. Here we can mention HTTP verb as HTTP post. Okay. Why we are creating two action methods? One is when we are clicking add button, it will navigate to create employee screen without any data. So simply we are returning view. But while clicking submit button in that add screen, it again is the same method, but that method takes HTTP post with the arguments employee entity. We can see how it works by putting the breakpoint. No worries. What we have to do when employee object comes, then directly we need to insert that employee to our database. To insert the database, we already have one repository method. Let's call that employee repository dot add employee. We already have this method in our repository. Add this employee entity. Then after creating an employee, we need to rewrite that page to our listing screen. The listing screen is index action method. So return redirect to action. Which action? That is index action. Redirect to action. That's it. Now we created controller method. Now we need to create view. How to create the view? We need to create the view with the same name. Create employee. So let's click add view. Add. Provide the view name as create employee. That's it. Yeah, it will open. It will create a view inside employee folder. Now we need to provide some HTML tags to get input values for an employee. To do that, first what we have to do, we already know that in the index in CS/HTML, we imported that assemblies, that is namespace. So copy that and paste here also. In listing screen, we used the model as IEnumerable, but here it is simply employee, not IEnumerable. So we can put it as at model employee. We missed that symbol. That is the issue. Now, yeah, now it comes as employee entity. Then we need to get some inputs for name, age, sex, and salary, department, everything. That is a HTML tags. For our time consuming, I copied that HTML tags in a notepad. We can use this. I will explain one by one. This method should be post method. Then only while clicking this button, it will post the data. So our employee controller, we have HTTP post method, it will fit. So this method we need to provide as HTTP form method should be post. Also on the button we need to provide type as submit. Then only while clicking this form will be submitted or employee controller will be fit. So this is important. Form method should be post and button type should be submit. Then we can see one by one. For employee name, we are providing input ASP for to get the age ASP for. This ASP for is it has we have employee entity. Inside that employee entity, we have attribute called name. So we need to provide. Here we have properties like name, age, salary, department, sex. So we need to provide each of them as a ASP for this. The input label is for this entity property. Then input field is for this age property. This input field is for salary property. Like that, we need to provide. Here, department name. Instead of input text box, we can provide it as a select drop down. For the drop down in HTML, we need to use select. Inside select, we need to use options. The same way, for sex, we are using radio button. For the radio button, we need to use input type radio, and ASP for is sex. Sex is that attribute, that is property name inside employee. That's it. Okay, let's run the application. For that, we can put the breakpoint inside this create employee, also inside this employee. Okay. While running employee controller plus create employee. Yes, breakpoint comes here. So whenever we are hitting that action method, directly it gets get method, not post method. First it's the get method, HTTP get method. So inside that get method, we are returning the view. So this view, don't worry about that styles and look and feel. It is the different session we can handle. Now we are going to see only about how we are going to perform CRUD operation. So don't worry about this styling and formatting. We can take it later. Provide some name. You can choose anything. While I am creating the employee, it comes to HTTP post method. Now, if we look into this employee object, what is that? Inside the employee, what we enter in the tracer view page comes here. That is age 65, department AC, and test name 89. But ID is 0. Then we are debugging F10, add employee. Now employee added. Now I am going to look this. Now employee ID is added as 1003. This is the difference. Before adding an entity, it is 0. After adding, that ID will be reflected in the same object. That's why in our last session I told that can go to that repository. Inside the repository, I told that why for the add employee we need to return the same object, because before adding that ID is 0, after adding ID will be that what is present in the database, so that we are returning that same employee entity. After adding, we are going to rewrite to index. Yeah, it added. We added this record. It get added successfully. Okay, but we are going to that page using the URL update, right? Without doing anything inside the URL, we need to open this page. For that, we can provide some menu option or some hyperlink, and it is better. Already we have two menus, home and privacy. So now we are going to add that menu in the same section. How to add that? Go to layout.cshtml. Inside layout.cshtml, we have two menus. So let's copy this one, duplicate that. Here we are going to display the text as employee management. While clicking the employee management, it should hit the controller, employee controller. So we need to provide the controller name as employee. And it should hit the action method. What action method? Index. Index is the listing screen. That's it. Let's run the application. Yeah, we have one more menu, employee management. Click on it. You can see the listing screen. Success. But one more thing, from here to add screen, we need some navigation. So we can add some more link in this screen to navigate to add employee screen. Let's do that. Go to index.cshtml. Let's add one menu called ASP action equal to create employee. For better understanding, I will copy it from here so that you can understand. This name should be there. This action method name be here. We can name it as create a new employee. Okay. The same way, we need to navigate from create employee screen to our listing screen. So we can provide the navigation here also. ASP action equal to index. We can provide hyperlink text as list of employees. Okay, let's run the application. Clicking employee management, we have some hyperlink here, create new employee. It will go to list of this creating employee screen. From here also we can navigate to list of employees. In this way navigation works. One more thing I need to explain here. Inside layout.cshtml we provided controller name as well as action name, but here we provided only action name, not controller name. Why? Because this index.cshtml as well as it navigate to create employee.cshtml, both are in same controller. Both are inside same controller. So no need to mention the controller name here. If the current screen and navigate to screen both are inside different controllers, then we need to mention that controller name itself. If both are in the same controller, then we can mention only action name. That's it. So in this video, we learned about how to create employees using view, controller, and repository. In our next session, we can see about how to update employees. Please subscribe this channel to get notifications on new videos. Thanks for watching.